If you ask an average person who lives inside Russia what is happening in Bakhmut right now, the chances are you will not get a clear answer. Most likely, person will shrug his or her shoulders and tell you, in Bakhmut right now, nothing's really happening. Same old, same old. I think the chances of getting the answer like that are about 70%. Because 70% of Russian people have fallen the victims of propaganda, and they get the information updates from the government official media. Now, we all know what's happening in Bakhmut right now, today, on May 6th, and it's far, far from normal. Ukrainian counteroffensive is taking place, and some Russian troops are withdrawing. Yet, if you turn Russian TV today, right now you will not find anything out of extraordinary. Everything there is normal. And this is how Russian propaganda, best weapon, is at work today, right now. Best weapon. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia. Howdy, howdy, everyone. I give you important news updates that explain what's truly happening inside Russia today. What you will not find on this channel is lies, propaganda, and BS. What you will find on this channel is truth, common sense, and logic, and emotions, because I am a human being after all. Inside Russia is where usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. For the first 30 or so minutes, I give you my regular daily message, then invite everyone to carry over on to the live stream chat where we converse and I answer questions and things like that. I'd like that very much. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for giving me a chance. Yesterday, I told you a story that there is the war on people's minds going on, waged none other but the Russian government. First deputy of the chief of staff of Russian president himself is in charge. Today, I'd like to continue talking on that subject. Today, I'd like to tell you how they work. I'd like to tell you something right from inside Russia, how things inside Russia are right now, at this very second, today. If you go online and visit Russian official websites, I'm sorry, this is really Russian propaganda. They just called the websites. You can do that. You can easily access Russian websites, media channels. You will find exactly this. I quote, "Security forces descended on the Central Election Commission of Gagauzia after the victory of the candidate from the Shore Party." Gagauzia? Shore Party? What party? I know Gagauzia is part of Moldova, but this is a major news in Russia today. Well, Elon Musk thinks George Soros hates humanity. Yeah, that's Russian mainstream media. A man who has changed beyond recognition due to plastic surgery was detained at the airport. The cities of Russia with the cheapest private houses are named. Ain't this lovely? Well, you get the idea. Major things are happening, but there are no mentions of them in the mainstream media. Yet, we know what is happening in part of Moldova called Gagauzia. We learned what Elon Musk things about George Soros and, things like that. You will not find any news, you will not find anything about Bakhmut. Yet in Bakhmut and around Bakhmut right now, the fate of Russia is being decided. Actually, I think it's already decided. It has been decided. It's just, actions are taking place. It's happening. But if you look at other news sources that are outside Russia, that are foreign, you will find a completely different story. You will find comprehensive coverage of what is happening in Ukraine, what is happening in counteroffensive, what is happening in and around Bakhmut. Heck, even Yevgeny Prigozhin, the owner of Russia's largest private army called ЧВК Wagner, who openly, publicly called Russia Minister of Defense, Ministry of Defense Chief of Staff, and the President of Russia, himself, he called them names. He publicly insulted them. He cursed them on camera. Even Prigozhin says that the Russian troops are running and fleeing from Bakhmut. Yet today, in the Russian official media, propaganda, you will not find any news on anything Bakhmut. Not good, not bad, nothing. As if Bakhmut never existed. Okay, but you might ask, perhaps they never talked about Bakhmut before. Like, Konstantin, why are you concentrating on Bakhmut so much, okay? Perhaps to them it had never been important. They didn't even know it existed, Oh, you know what? Make no mistake about that. They talked about Bakhmut once or twice or three times or 33,000 times before in the past. They made it headline many times. The battle for Bakhmut has been going on for 10 months. Russian troops have not been able to take over Bakhmut in 10 months, although they've been trying real hard, and good knows how many people were killed trying to get that city, town, village, town, I guess. Every time Russian troops advanced, made any kind of small victory, advanced one street, one house, 1 meter, then propaganda was just blowing, like spitting out on the victories of Russian army in Bakhmut. They found, if they had something, anything at all to say about that place, that town, and Russian advancing, they did. They made it headlines everywhere. But now they have forgotten about Bakhmut all of a sudden, like it has never existed. Well, perhaps Bakhmut is an exception. Perhaps this is just a freak of accident, Well, let's take a look at other examples. I have prepared you some today. Let's talk about Kherson. Oh, Kherson. As we all remember, Kherson was the only major Ukrainian city that Russian troops occupied. And they occupied it right in the beginning of the invasion, I think within 3 weeks or so. Kherson was occupied, controlled by Russians until Vladimir Putin annexed it in October 22. Well, first, Vladimir Putin promised in March everyone that Russia was not after Ukrainian land. And then, 6 months later, in October, he lied. Turned out that he lied, and he annexed Ukrainian lands, including Kherson and Kherson province. Okay, all 4 provinces altogether. So, in October 22, Russia annexed 4 provinces of Ukraine, including Kherson. Okay. Did propaganda say anything about it? You'd better believe it. Oh, it was singing out loud, celebration all over Russia. Huge concert on the Red Square. Russia forever to stay in Kherson. Russia will never leave. Russia will never leave own behind. With Russia forever and things like that. If anyone decides to take it back, oh, we will show them, we will crush them that regret they were even born. Whew, that was a freak propaganda show, okay? Vladimir Putin was so happy. He was all over Russian TV, live, you must have seen it. It was all over the world. Yet, just in a few short weeks, Russian troops left Kherson because Ukrainian troops were performing a powerful counter-offensive. And guess what happened? Kherson ceased to exist in the Russian media. I'm sorry, propaganda. Just like 4 weeks ago, nothing happened. 4 weeks ago, nothing happened. No, Vladimir Putin was so happy, jumping up and down with those Ukrainians who decided to change sides and became, I don't know what the right words for them. Yeah, I don't know. My dear Ukrainians, you find the right words for those people. I fail to do that. I don't know how to call them. So anyway, just 4 weeks prior, the celebration, everything, Vladimir Putin was almost dancing. And 4 weeks after, they started acting like it never happened. It was not in Russian reality. It was erased from the reality. It's been 7 months now, and Kherson has not been brought up in the Russian media once like it never existed. But wait a second, in October, Vladimir Putin made it a part of Russia. They changed constitution, they made federal laws, they made it, and they started spitting out their saliva around, screaming, oh, it's Russia, it's Russia. And now, hasn't been Russia for 7 months, and what? Nothing, like it never happened. Well, let's move on. Another example for you. Very fresh example. 3 days ago, or 4 days ago now, technically, Ukrainian army shot down 4 Russian aircraft, 2 modern jet fighters, and 2 attack helicopters over Russian territory, over Bryansk province. The Ministry of Defense came out and admitted the loss. It's official. Okay, it's not fake or anything like that. There have been numerous videos of helicopters getting shot down, 4 aircraft, all in all. Ministry of Defense didn't say much. It just admitted that, yes, that has been an accident, and we lost 4 aircraft. And that's it. Confirmed, official, not fake. If you think about it, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's a scandal. It shows that there is lack of air defense system over Russia because the aircraft were shot. All 4 of them were shot above Russian territory. Lack of air defense system. Unprofessionalism, major fail of Russian army. There's so much to discuss and there's so much to criticize, okay? The taxpayers' money have been spent for what? Yet, Russian media, propaganda, acts like it has never happened. Nothing happened. I deliberately watched TV. I never watched Russian TV, but I did watch the news of that evening. Nothing at all. They were talking about anything, about farming, about economy, about you name it, but they never mentioned anything about the aircraft. In this list, I can really go on and on and on forever. I hope that hearing these examples makes you understand how Russia propaganda works a little better, makes you understand what is happening in the Russian information space. What I give you is just three very big and vivid examples, okay? But Russian propaganda works in the very same way with everything, every single day. It has been for the past 14 months. It's been changing minds of Russian people. It is a clear manipulation, okay? Propaganda, by showing people or not showing people something, manipulates shifting the focus of their attention, okay? I'm not making excuses for Russians. Oh no, make no mistake about that. But I'd rather want you to understand that the Russians, what they are against is not child's play, but a mighty, powerful evil force. Science, engineering, resources, people, money, a huge army. Although this army is not equipped with guns, tanks, and planes, but it's equipped with knowledge, TV, internet, and laws. Okay, it seeds what it wants to grow inside the heads of Russian people. And if someone starts acting, starts thinking independently, starts standing up and making other Russians think of the things that Russian propaganda doesn't want them to think about, then there is law. And that person who stands up, his head or her head gets cut. That's how it works. There is a war on Russian people's minds, and that's official. Like I said, the first deputy of chief of staff of Russian president made it official. And they've been working hard on winning this war. And I mean the Russian government, The problem is they are winning, and with many people, they have already won. Many people in Russia are broken right now. Propaganda's work messing with people's minds, and it's gone too far. It's like madness. It's a disease. Once it happens to you, you cannot come back and heal and become normal. There's no way back. Gone too far. And many Russians, I'm not saying all, but many Russians, they have gone too far. The propaganda has done its dirty, black deed. And it's pretty sad. This has been my message for today. Thank you so much for coming, giving me a chance and listening. I hope that you hearing me speak today helped a little bit, at least, to understand Russia and what's happening inside Russia a little more. This is my goal, and I would like to ask everyone to follow to the live stream chat, and I would love to answer your questions. I would love to converse. Words of encouragement would be nice. If you'd like to buy me coffee, that'd be fantastic too. Before I turn the live stream chat on, I'd like to ask you a couple favors. First, would you please help me spread my message by making reposts in your social media accounts? That helps a lot, actually. And also consider signing up for my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia. That's a good way to communicate, to keep the updates, to keep getting announcements and information about what's happening on the channel. If you liked what you heard, it'd be nice if you consider hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further updates. So, my friends, the chat is on. If you're not seeing it, would you please consider hitting the refresh button and it'll appear right in front of your eyes. Just like it did with me. Lorna is number 1 today. Black Ad. Mommy is in our hearts and in our minds with us. Bob S., Harry Potter and Amir. Howdy, howdy. Everyone, in case you didn't know, this YouTube channel has the best mod team in the world. Forget about the world, in the universe, in the entire internet. Thank you, my friends, for coming back and helping me out, and thank you for usual suspects for showing up again and supporting me. Thank you, great to see you. It's fantastic, means a lot to me. Dirk today is number 1. Cyan, Airborne Snail, Craig, Isma, Irvin, Jimmy, KS, Angry Panda, Amanda, Mama Two Boys, Manib, Mr. Kaliskin, Paula W, PL Demergray, Scott Nesbitt, Dave Strains, and my list goes on and on. Thank you so much for coming. The sponsors, the patrons, the subscribers, the usual suspects, the community. Thank you. If you want me to see your comment or question better, please put it in caps. Put inside Russia after @ so it appears in a large orange box highlighted. I see it much easier. Just like Mr. Kaliskin did. Hello from Chicago. Thank you so much. Howdy, howdy. Jimmy Penrose from Edgecombe, Maine. Cheers to you. Cheers to Jimmy and cheers to Maine. The way life should be. My most favorite state, my second home. I miss Maine. Amra Makers, great to see you. You just given a sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much. There will be a stream just for sponsors and patrons, and 5 people, courtesy of you, will be able to join and participate. So thank you so very much. Yuri Khan, hi from Netherlands. Howdy, howdy. Roy Cousins from London. Carmen, Calvin, Jodes Rames as usual. Fantastic to see everyone. Thank you, friends. Sam K, howdy, howdy, regular Russian. Inside Russia is where regular Russia explained by usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. That is me. I doubt I am a regular Russian, you know. I used to say that, and I got a nasty email from one of the subscribers or viewers, and it was like a mile, 1,000 lines long, and then basically email was very harsh, but he explained me quite good why I am not usual Russian, and I agreed. And then I stopped calling myself a usual Russian. I am a very unusual Russian. White Lightning, howdy. Medusa Media is Russian, but it's opposition, not the state media. They certainly covered the debacle of the drowned aircraft. Make no mistake, I didn't say anything about Medusa. Russian media is Russia. What's inside Russia? It's 100% of the media inside Russia is controlled by the government. You see, the government, how do I explain in simple words? The government is in Italian, it's la piovra. It's octopus. It's it grabbed everything. Okay, and the media was the first thing it did. There were a couple independent media outlets remaining in Russia in 2022, but they left a few days after war began. They closed in Russia. They moved to the Baltics, to London, I think, a couple of them. And right now there is still Russian media that is, I can't say independent because it's dependent on whoever pays the Russian media, you know. But they're not the Russian government. They are the opposition. And Medusa media is actually quite good. And it's a foreign agent and it's an enemy of Russia. It's considered enemy of Russia. No one in Russia can even quote it. If Russian citizens citizen quotes it, then whoever quotes it gets a lengthy prison term. Okay, Medusa is excellent. Okay, I watch it. It's not only Medusa, Serebryny Dozhd is also good. There are independent bloggers, Michael Naki, Milov, you know. That's why I keep telling that, hey, look, there's so much truth available to Russians in Russian. All you have to do is open your eyes and be willing to read and analyze and critically think. Okay, so White Lightning, thank you so much. Jodes Rames has just gifted sponsorship to 5 people. And I see Jason Carney came back with a huge bang again. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. You're champion of super chatting and supporting this channel. Myself, personally, my wife, and my family. Thank you, Jason. I am overwhelmed. I don't know what to say. Thank you. Crusader Damien, the bearer of the best questions, hands down. Hello, my friend. The 2 fighter jets and 3 helicopters were shot down by Russian air defense, not Ukraine. Ukraine does not have that capability yet. I have heard that before. I don't know whether it's true or not. But it doesn't, at this point, and in my message, it does not matter who shot down the aircraft, whether it was a mistake or a treason on the Russian side or, Ukrainians, it doesn't matter. The thing is, Russian media has not said anything, one single word about that. That's what's important. Okay, if it was Russian, I don't know, but if it was truly Russians shot down their own planes, then Russian media would definitely blame Ukrainians for that. If it was Ukrainians, Russian media would blame Americans, the Satanists, Evil West, the Brits, you name it. But they did not say a word because they're trying to take people's attention, put it someplace else, okay? Engineers, manipulators, the scumbags, that's who they are. Seafront, do you think people in Russia understand that this media is fake and are scared to say because of punishment or they believe in it for real? Good question. I think some believe in it for real. Some, the ones who don't believe, who know that it's fake and disinformation, they don't watch it, okay? And I think 70-30, just like I said in the beginning of the stream, I think 70% of Russians believe it's true or partially true, and 30% do not believe. I am one of proud members of that group who don't believe, who know the truth. John Gonzalez, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do. Your messages are very valuable as always. John, thank you. Your financial support is very welcome, and the words are just priceless. Thank you. Level 70, thank you so much. Hi, Konstantin. I heard in the news that a greater percentage of Russians now want to end the war at any cost after those 4 aircraft were destroyed on Russian soil. Why the sudden abrupt changes in views? Where did you hear that from? If, you know, even if it was true, then Russian media, Russian propaganda would not, make it public, would not make it an open information. So where did you hear it from? I think majority of people don't even think about that in Russia. They're like, I heard something like that happen. Well, it's too far away. It doesn't concern me. I have my life here. I go to work. I do this and that. This is what I think. But I'd appreciate if you gave me the source where you heard it from. Steve Hayes, another fantastic message. Thank you so much. Have a coffee on me and Heather. Not sure if it's true, if Lukashenko dead, or is this another Russian propaganda? Well, Lukashenko is certainly not well. I saw him personally on video. He showed up on May 9th. He was not well at all. He looked sick. He looked like he couldn't move. He couldn't make it to a lunch with everyone, and he just disappeared. And his left hand was bandaged right up to his fingers. I don't know. Did he break his hand or what happened? But it was bandaged. Then he disappeared for 4 days, and the rumors started going wild. Oh, Lukashenko died. Lukashenko this. Lukashenko sick. And then I guess to prevent the rumors, they brought him into public yesterday. They made a video. He was very weak. His voice was very quiet. He usually screams at people, mighty powerful tyrant, the Tsar. And this time he was like a little mouse, murmuring something. He clearly, something is going on with him. Well, the God Almighty sees everything, We will be expecting the developments. Let's put it this way. Thank you again, Stephen. Black Cat has just given the gift of sponsorship to 5 people. Black Cat, thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Manas, long time no see. Thank you. I will be keeping up the good work. You better believe it. You can count on that. Ryan Williams, thank you. Is there any way to know what rate different regions are being mobilized at? I heard that Krasnoyarsk Krai was a rate of greater than 1 in 20, but not sure how you would know. Okay, what is a rate of greater than 1 in 20? I totally missed. I don't understand this part, but I can tell you this is I actually know. There are different plans for mobilization, for people, for number of people, for different provinces. And this is actually very smart move from Russian government, because they basically did not touch Moscow and St. Petersburg. Virtually very few people were mobilized. Why? Because these 2 cities are considered capital number 1 and capital number 2. And usually people there treated nicely, because people there are very active, richer than anyone else, more educated than people in other towns and villages. And they have more energy. They get up and, it's not too far from the Kremlin to march. So the Russian government tries to appease them. Also tries to appease the citizens of large cities for the same reason. But oh boy, it does not appease anyone else. Uh, it's not for the provinces, but it's for large cities versus villages. Villages, they have been numerous reports that cops and state police comes and gets everyone they can get their hands on. Everyone. Villages, small towns. Alex, the guy who is in Texas right now, he told me a story when he was in Tashkent personally. I met him, or I helped him to move from his city called Lesazavodsk to Houston, to Frankfurt, to Tashkent, and then from there on, his sponsors took over. But he told me the story, and I believe the kid. He told me that a few dozen buses came in, and his town, Lesazavodsk, is a dead end. It's in taiga, and its main business is pulp, trees, cutting trees, and processing them and like sending them someplace. Nowhere to run. So they just came in and they manhunted everyone they could find. Some men were able to run into taiga, and this is how they saved themselves. Alex did not dare to get outside of his apartment for I don't know how many days, and this is how he stayed safe. And this was not an uncommon occurrence; happened all the time. So this is how it went. Villages, anyone they could find. Towns, great deal of Russian men. Big cities, Moscow, St. Petersburg, very few compared to the other ones. I'm pretty sure that in Krasnoyarsk there were many, like so fewer people than in Krasnoyarsk region. Krasnoyarsk, like towns and villages. Hope I answered your question. Krister Pettersson, thank you so much for your support from Sweden. Lukashenko's voice may have changed after intubation. Very possible, very possible. He sounded extremely weak. What happened to him? No one knows at this point, just rumors. Let's wait a little bit and we'll find out. Carlson Larrymore, thank you, the usual serial super chatter, serial supporter. Thank you so much. Seems propagandists are always changing their narrative when things go bad. Just curious to know how they explain when Russia is kicked out of Ukraine. Carson, I made the entire stream about exactly this. Okay, I will repeat again. When Russia is kicked out of Ukraine, they will keep silence as if it never happened. As if, Russian army never invaded Ukraine. Then most likely they will say, you know what, we reached all the goals in Ukraine. We're out. And that's it. They will not say anything. They will be, oh my God, they will be saying how NATO is so evil, how Satanists have hijacked the American government and the Western governments all over the world, and how they're trying to destroy Russia, and how this and that. But they will not say anything about the Ukrainians. But Ukrainian people killed by the Russian army, will be a taboo. Russian people killed in Ukraine will be taboo, as if it never happened. If someone would be standing up and saying, whoa, 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 let's talk about Ukraine, what happened? KGB would come over, that's it. Person does not exist anymore, no one knows where he is. This is how they're gonna act. Multi-Ducky, howdy. Seafront. Tampa, Florida. I'm 15 minutes late and $1 short today. Richard Montes Dioca. No problem, no dollars needed. You made it, that's good. Tampa, pretty cool place. I've been to Hudson, not too far from Tampa. Tampa, Florida, right? Our friends had a small house there right on the water with a boat. a nice 23-footer with 2 Mercury engines. Oh, the owner took me out once into the Mexico, Gulf of Mexico. Is one of the day I still remember. It was so fantastic, you know. Tube Radio, howdy, thank you. From the Netherlands, I will keep up what I'm doing. You better, you can count on me. Thank you. Looking for the comments in caps and highlighted in orange. Jay the Cat, great message today, thank you. I also enjoyed your video of the Breakfast Club trip to the mountains. Oh, thank you. By the way, if you watched the video, how do you like it? It looked like everyone there enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed seeing it. We had a blast. That was our first trip. I filmed it. The second trip, Slava, Russian Plus, filmed, was a fantastic trip. And the third one was just this Sunday, a couple days ago. I also filmed, and I also will make a video. I decided to make a video of every trip. I'll make a series called Exploring Uzbekistan. Not too many people watch it. It's not as popular as political updates on Russia, but hey, you know what? It's out there. It's our life. It's who we are. It's part of my offline community of my life, and I think it's pretty important. This is where I try to bridge Ukrainians and Russians, and you know, so far so good. I'm very proud of that. Whew. Steve, fantastic topic. Thank you so much. Russian propaganda, the things Lavrov comes out with is laughable. Maybe this is where he gets his propaganda from. Lavrov is different. Lavrov, I used to have so much respect for Lavrov. He seemed such an knowledgeable, such fantastically educated, common sense guy. Something happened to him. I don't know what time will tell, but it seems like he's been blackmailed. They have his daughter or a member of a family or something, because he's changed so much. I mean, he used to be one of the best diplomats in the world, and now he's just on the. He joined the Dark Force. Plain and simple. Thank you again, Steve. Siba, howdy. Do you think the media will soon report the leader of Wagner was eliminated in the front lines? If he's eliminated, oh yeah, there will be. He's like a sore thumb for the Russian media because he's been uncontrollable. He's been cursing Putin. He's been cursing Shoigu, Gerasimov, and everyone. He's been cursing Russian army. Oh, you name it. Something is strange about this guy. He sticks out. He sticks out like a sore thumb for everyone in the Russian government because he just doesn't care. Sometimes I tend to believe he speaks the truth. Crusader Damien, thank you again. It's fascinating as this time the West is putting up the Iron Curtain to keep Russia in. Incredible to those of us who came through the Cold War. Look, I know. To me, it's also incredible. My entire world has been, I can't even say put upside down. No, it's much more than that. It's been like falling apart, and I'm just sitting here and trying to pick up the pieces, and it's so crazy. It's still hard to comprehend what has happened. League City, Texas. Carol, howdy. Viking 5227, howdy. What would Russian people say if they heard that Ukraine has shot down 6 Kinzhals missiles in 2 days? What can I say? Information is out there, available. Lots of Russians heard it. What are they saying? Nothing. It doesn't concern me. I don't know. Who cares? Oh, that's what they're saying. Birmingham, England, howdy. Tadpole 10-538. You made things very clear today. Thank you. Who said that? My stream jumps up and down. I apologize. Grace Philosophy, fantastic to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We praying for you. He met Gagaguzi. What? Stajan Arsenovic. Buying Konstantin a coffee benefits him more than donating here. Well, that's true too. Case, another great stream. Thank you. Thank you so much. The words of encouragement are fantastic. Thank you. Lukashenko needs a balls transplant. John, he hasn't got any. Well, I don't think that's gonna help him much. He's TikTok. The crocodile hasn't just come for Putin. He's come for Lukashenko as well. Uh, 2 days now without Dave's trains. Wasn't he just in the stream today? Alright, looking for the comments and tabs and highlighted in orange. And Larson, thank you so much. Mama, two boys. The trip was so fun. Thank you. Lisa Kumrian, loved the video. I saw your comment. Thank you. Scott Nesbitt, yes, it was a great video. It was great. Thanks for sharing it. Scott, thank you. Joe's Rames. I was so shocked when they told us that actually the amount was less than $140. It was 120 like 5 or something like that. So we left tips. Very, very cheap. I can't say it was the best food. I'm getting sick of Uzbek food, to be honest with you. But it was tasty and it was filling. It was lots of meat. Everything is heavy. Killer Quinn, do you believe Belarus can become democracy after Lukashenko dies? I do believe so. I do believe that most Belarusians are on the bright side. They have a challenge fighting off Russia because Russia will be trying to annex Belarus. But it also depends on how Putin is feeling, where he's at, what kind of things are happening at the front lines and things like that. Carmen, thank you so much. KG1, CIA are recruiting Russian spies. Are you tempted? No, I am not. I am not a spy. I'm not cut to be a spy. I'm not cut to be a politician. I'm sorry. I'm just a husband, a son, a father. I'm definitely not a spy. Cedric, thank you. Thank you to see that there's good Russians. Seeing the horror in Ukraine is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for us. Make no mistake about it, we have fun when we go out, and we have fun when we get together for breakfast. That's the idea of me creating this community called Breakfast Club. But it's not all roses and peanuts, and popcorn. We are refugees. We are exiles from our own country. None of us can go back to Russia. We lost everything we had there. And trust me, this past winter, we went through hell, all of us. We had lectures. We would just get together on Sundays and we would just support each other. I would get a psychologist. He'd explained us that what we're going through was normal. And trust me, it's not just happy here. We try to be as happy as we can, but even at the Breakfast Club, there were like 5 or 6 occasions, like pretty much every single free minute we had, we would start discussing what was happening in Russia. There was one guy from Belarus. He was telling us the horror stories. If you think that things are bad in Russia, think twice. They're like 3 times worse in Belarus, and that they have been happening for 2 years now. So, it's not all peanuts. It's not all roses and niceness. Trust me, we're also heartbroken. Ben Woodruff, what do you see as the way forward with the Orthodox Church in Ukraine? Thank you. Don't know much about it. It's Ukrainians' business. Ukrainian people are to decide what to do with Orthodox Church. We in Russia have our own Orthodox Church to take care of. I don't even want to learn much about that, to be honest with you. Mets fans, hi Konstantin, I was just wondering, are there any Belarusians in the Breakfast Club? Yes, there are. I just talked about it. There are a couple, and they have been telling us the horror stories about Belarus. 3 times worse than Russia. When Lukashenko goes, no regrets right here with this guy. Vaisa, Lavrov stood to lose a lot of money if the Putin regime vanish. That's what happened. I don't believe that it's all about money. No. I may be wrong, but I personally do not believe it's all about money. Steve Barnes, short answer to your question is yes, it is the same. Yeah, Lavrov enraged the Israelis for saying crude anti-Semitic things. The Russian government, not the government, but the Putin himself was forced to apologize. Ohms, thank you so much. Interesting. You look okay to me, says someone. Frank in Texas, read my message to you on Patreon when you have time. By the way, Frank, I watched the video about, was it on Patreon? I have not responded, but I watched it. It was very touching. Thank you so much. I definitely will respond soon. Nice video from the mountain of breakfast. Thank you, Mikhail Lindros. If Lukashenko dies, will that potentially cause armed conflict in Belarus? Jimmy Penrose? I don't know. There are different scenarios. Let's wait until he dies first. Mama Two Boys. I think most Russians are just living in apathy and surviving. Mama Two Boys, you're not too far from the truth. Autistic Wolf, thank you. I have heard from the intelligence communities that if Lukashenko is poisoned, Putin will use this as excuse to absorb Belarus. Your thoughts? Putin will try to absorb Belarus. It doesn't matter what happens. Does not matter. If Lukashenko is poisoned, or he just passes away, or he's killed, or whatever, or he resigns, does not matter. Putin's plans are definitely for Belarus. It includes Belarus as a part of either Russia or this empire he's built in his hand. But you know what? Molan Labe. Pamela J., you're one of those people that people will follow anywhere. Thank you. My cab's lock is now dead. Awesome. Don't worry about caps lock. Just put inside Russia and I'll see you. Meat and potato, cabbage, carrots, and onion inside Russia. Black Cat, are you talking about Uzbek cuisine? Would still like the recipe for that green drink. By the way, everyone, Ferrari guy and everyone, there will be a new stream on Saturday. Well, there will be two streams. The usual one at the usual time for patrons and sponsors. Before that, there will be a stream. I don't know for how long, but it'll be either early evening or late afternoon. The Grand Pilaf stream. I will take you to a place where they actually, and I'll show you how they make pilaf from A to Z, from cutting the onions, washing down rice and, cooking everything and eating pilaf. That's going to be a good stream. Everyone, please join Saturday. The announcement will be out there soon. I still want to try those samsas. Amir, I have a feeling I need to show more of Uzbekistan because I've been concentrating for the past year, for the past 7 months on political side of things, but I need a break. I am pretty tired. I'm not burned out, but I've been doing this for 14 months every single day with like few breaks here and there, but they're not breaks. They're really that something happens, internet or electricity or things like that. So I need to kind of make a little difference, to add something else. I need perhaps more stuff about Uzbekistan. The thing is, it's not popular as people here on this channel. They like to watch the politics. They want to watch what's happening inside Russia. But I guess Uzbekistan will be for me. It's like a hobby within Inside Russia channel. Keith from Hawaii, howdy, howdy. Pizza Man, thank you so much. Janice Burgess. Lisa Kumrian never liked Lavrov. I actually liked Lavrov. I saw a different part of him, a different side of him. He was an interesting guy, but boy, he's changed. The Highwayman. I read your message. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing personal details with me. Just give me some time to answer. I'm pretty backed up with everything. Not just answering emails, but other things too. Our AON email blah, 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 bottle. I'm sorry. How do I say that? Greetings, Constantine. Is Russia becoming more unstable or are the people confident? Team UK. Well, Tim, thanks for joining. Russia is definitely becoming more unstable. Paula W. I will enjoy food content. I will watch, well, at least one viewer. That's enough. You know, at least Paula will be watching. I'll be making. Lavrov looks depressed to me, hugely depressed. He's not himself. Or is that just his face? Not his face. There's a sudden change that happened to him when the war was announced. He was running around. He was confidently crying, screaming from every single corner. There will be no war. There will be no. You're crazy, you know. And then there's war, and his face drops. Okay, and then I think that he was threatened. My bet is, you know, I have no facts. I have not even rumors, but this is my gut feeling. I thought he was thinking of quitting, but he was not allowed, and perhaps there's a blackmail or a hostage or something like that, you know, and then he just can't quit. But enough about Lavrov. Please don't stress about responding. I start stressing because I need to respond to lots of emails and just very little time. Thank you, Highwayman. Gary Black, thank you so much. I will enjoy the coffee. Lavatory. I'll take that. Joao Morenos, with all this mass of lies, will people understand how their life standards will be? Low and poorer, and how people live across the border? Will it create a movement like in the USSR? You're looking at the wrong direction, friend. This is really scary because you and many other people have asked me this question many times. The USSR, it'll create movement like in the USSR. People will be feeling like back in the USSR. No. I think what's going to happen now is Russian people, will be feeling like the Germans in 1920 after they lost World War II and returned home. Read Eric Maria Remarque. Read there Everything is Quiet and the Western Front. Read The Black Obelisk. You will find the answers what will happen to Russians very soon. Eric Maria Remarque, he wrote everything. He answered all the questions 100 years ago. Read his books, okay? What is really scary to me is Russia and Russians are following the footsteps of the Germans in World War One, not World War Two. And we all know what happened 10 years after Germany lost World War One. We all know what happened to the society. We all know what happened to the Germans. We all know what kind of leader came. I am really scared that Russia is following the footsteps. That's one of my huge concerns. We have a new sponsor, AES. Thank you so much. Welcome to Inside Russia. Ferrari guy, you understand. Good morning from Indonesia. Agostinos Sion. Howdy, howdy. Great to have you. Frerk Mayers, like Germans in 1945. No. I wish Russia will follow the footsteps of Germany in 1945. Oh, this is my hope. But my fear is they're going to follow the footsteps of Germany in 1920. David L., what is your assessment of Prigozhin, who the Z folks seem to adore? You're mistaken. Z folks do not adore him anymore. He is openly speaking against their god, Putin. He's considered a traitor by many Z folks now. So it's very controversial. What is my assessment of Prigozhin? He's who he is. He's a crazy guy with a huge private army. Something's not right in his head. I have people here in Breakfast Club who met him personally. Yes, one of the people worked for him briefly. He told me stories about Prigozhin. He was gone too far even 10 years before this war started, okay? Do you know that he's a hardcore criminal? He served twice, and one time he was sentenced to, I think, either 10 or 14 years, okay, for robbery, armed robbery. This is kind of guy he is. That's why he's going to prisons and, recruiting the hardcore criminals, cannibals, murderers, rapists. That's what he is. Time's up? Okay. Bogdan L., thank you so much. Food sub channel. I simply do not have energy, time to do a sub channel. Once in a while, it's going to be like a video about trips or something like that. It's going to be like a little rest of the political stuff, because my brain also needs to unwind somehow. Thank you, Amir. Guy L., you had a cracking view of the van ride to the mountains. I see or not see. Yes, I had a cracking view. Yeah, I told that people who are rented us the buses with drivers. I told them not to give the bus with a cracked windshield anymore. It was pretty wild. We showed up and it looked like a bullet hole in it, or someone smashed their head on it. It's crazy. All right, folks, I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. Mods deserve chocolate and coffee after the stream. Sam K, I have something coming up for the mods in that department. Sarah Moore, much love, thank you so much. Last question from Ann Larson. What do you think that will happen to Prigozhin people back in Russia? The hardcore criminals, very few of them will come back. I saw videos of one of the Prigozhin cemeteries, thousands, tens of thousands of people. Those hardcore criminals are 6 feet down under, and I think most of them will be. So, Roma servanda est. Carol, you had me here. Roma servanda est. Let me see what it is. Real quick before we start finishing. Rome is served. Okay. Again, I feel ashamed. Ancient Rome history buff. I don't know what it is. Sorry. My friends, thank you for a good stream. I hope you found my message interesting today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cheryl Waitley, hard to disagree with you. A message from Amanda. 60 years of marriage, 68 years of marriage. Appreciate all the prayers for them. They're my world. Amanda, celebrating, congratulating. Should we keep on praying or you want us to stop? Okay. My friends, thank you so much again. I invite everyone to join me in prayer. Thank you. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables. Thank you for giving us roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with people who we love and who love us. Thank you for showing us your love. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads peaceful and raise them in a way that when they grow up, they will make this world a better place, will never engage in any wars with anyone. Please keep our children safe and healthy. And dear Lord, please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine and give Ukraine peace. At last, people have suffered so much for nothing. Please help stop the bloodshed, reach out and touch the hearts and souls of people responsible so they wake up from whatever sleep they are in, and they will get terrified and they will make decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected, answer their prayers and have their dreams come true, please. Send angels to every person in Ukraine so angels keep people away from harm's way. And please help my country. Send the army of strongest angels with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country. Have them come down. The heavenly army come down fast. We need them so bad. Have them serve the justice, please. Have them run my country and make it peaceful and make it right, make it good neighbor, make it respected and loved. Have them change it, please. Thank you. Dear Lord, please help all the people who are traveling. Send them safe travels. Help those who are seeking asylum, especially families. Send help and good people their way. Help the hungry, the sick, the homeless, the jobless, the depressed, the ones with low self-esteem, the ones who are not feeling good about their lives. Shine your light upon those people, the needy ones. Please shine your heavenly light upon them. Show them your love. Fill their hearts with love so they feel good about life again. They get up on their feet and they will have another chance at happiness. Please help everyone in Ukraine who has been affected by Russian strikes, by lack of the destroyed infrastructure. Please help those who are without heat, without water, electricity. Send help their way. Dear Lord, please keep our skies above all our heads peaceful. We really need that. And please send us Russians common sense into our heads and critical thinking and energy so we shrug off the apathy that we've been living at and we'll start thinking clear and critically again. Please help all those women who are pregnant and trying to make a decision whether to keep their babies or not. Please reach out to every one of them and speak to them so they make the right choice. Dear Lord, thank you so much for bringing us into this community. Thank you for These awesome people who meet each other every day. Thank you for the help that they have provided, all of us have provided to each other, and thank you for the help that I have received, for the wonderful words, prayers, and wishes. Thank you, encouragements. Please help everyone who's praying with me or simply watching us pray. Make everyone's wish come true and answer every single prayer. Thank you. I would like to ask for a few people who need your help. They are Margaret, Linda Trombley, RT, Per, Sarah Stokes, Rod, Sandra's husband, Greg, Jim and Shirley Hall, Delaney and her children, Ann Larson, her family, and her daughter Hannah, Florentina, Caroline Raynor, Patty L., Mac's family, Sherry Morin, CKOC, Brian Wilkes, Amir's Uncle Dicky, Liz Dumbrell, Liz Dumbrell's grandparents, Ripted, daughter of Aspen English, Ruth, Paul, Alona and her boys, Susan, Rudy Kaisley, Darla, Bip, Paula McDonald, Ivan Gershkovich, Santa's Whiskey, White Lightning, George Ruberty, Dave Strains, Pam, Larry, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Igor, Svetlana, Karen, Jamie, Michael Milkevitz, Marlene, Paul Bins, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, Linda, Terry, Hannah and her children, Richard Burris, Angelica Life, and Scan family's grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly, Arkady, and Yuri, and Mikolaev, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian James, Doug, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Brittany S., Allison Dave Moyers, Maureen M., and her sister, Natasha from the West Coast, Mr. Hanson, Heidi, Bob, Matt, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner, his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Cumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Maggie, Vladislav and Sergey, Susie Myler, Gina, Liz, Karen from Maine, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Thomas Fall, Wayne, Shirley and Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Lars Henrik's mother, the Highwayman, Amanda Reidnor, Assie from the Scottish Isles, Outlander and family, Choriz and family, David Porter, his family and daughter, and all people from Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Lazarus, Buzz Salmon, Alvin's sister, Teresa D., Garcia Castellanos, Terry Carter, Joe and Lee McMahon, Meta Spencer, Deanna and her family, Bree's friend, Caroline, Albina Fell, Michael Yukon, Joel Life, Karine Vasseur, Pamela J., Daniel 9, Lindsay. Also would like to ask for very special children, Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Theo, Madi, Ansley, Karine Vasseur's niece, Coulter, and also like to ask, please help all the children of Ukraine who have been misplaced, who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Please send angel to every child to care for the child and help them. Shine your love upon children. Also, please help Russian children who have been affected. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you so much. Mods, you're fantastic. I appreciate you every time. Thank you. usual suspects and the first-time viewers, thank you. You're awesome and you rock. I will have another message to you as usual. I go live every single day. That's the promise I gave to myself and to God, believe it or not. But it happened on the day one of this terrible war. And so please count on me going live tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Again, you're fantastic, awesome, you rock and roll. Before I go, I invite everyone to say along with me, the usual. Carthago delenda est.